Welcome to Clean Cut Conversations, the podcast for exceptional Southern Black men. Join us as we delve into vital topics, including mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Let me go ahead and introduce Mr. Eric Brown from OTC Visuals. How you doing, brother?
What up?
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Welcome to the building. How's it feeling, man?
I'm feeling great. Just had a stretch of, we did 5 videos in 3 days, so I'm just now getting a cool down period, but
Already.
Nice. So besides that, do you have any upcoming projects or events that you're attending that you would like to share with our audience?
This summer we actually are shooting a documentary called Gen Z. It kind of details about the different what's a correct way to put it, different life aspects within our generation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be coming out by the end of the summer. But other than that, got some things coming with local artists, more videos. But that's kind of the baseline of what I have to come.
Oh,
I
nice.
dig it. Gen Z. Is that you said you called it Gen Z? What's it called?
Yes, sir. It's the film's name will be titled Gen Z.
What is briefly where does Gen Z start? Like where is y'all's time frame? Like where you're born?
I think don't quote me on it, but
Because you're after us. We're millennials.
Right.
Millennials, but I think Gen Z starts roughly around that 2001, 2002 period.
Okay.
And it kind of after that I kind of get lost. It's
Like where it starts. Because I know some generations that when you see like baby boomers, Gen X, us, millennials, and Gen Z, there's usually like a 15, 16-year gap when I see the
Right.
Like for us, it's like 81 to 95, and then they say Gen Z is 96 to 2010, because y'all come in at, and then whatever 2010 is, that's a whole nother level. I don't know what
that's what after that I don't even know what they call it 2000 the new generation.
The new generation, but you are heavily influenced by the millennials.
I just because of my crowd. I'm the youngest in my family. Everybody is like 15 years older than me. So
Okay.
I almost consider myself more of a millennial than a Gen Z, but just me being in this generation and all my friends are Gen Z. So
yeah, you can always tell a young cat in Gen Z, they're influenced by like our type of crowd. Like your whole mannerism.
Right.
I know you're Gen Z, but you have an old soul going on.
Yeah. Right.
They've been telling me that since I was 5, 6, like, oh, he has an old soul. Like, as a kid, I was never the type to, I want to go out and play and do this and that. I wanted to be in the crib, just learning different stuff type versus,
Right.
I wasn't always, what's the correct way to put it? I wasn't,
Like basically intact with your generation.
Yeah.
Like you're
I've always been
wilding out.
I've always been set apart. Like even to this day, like if you get in high school, everybody they want to have 3, 4 girlfriends.
Right.
I was the type, I want to just have one girlfriend.
Yeah.
Less drama, and I can focus on my goals.
He's already said.
Yeah, right.
I already got the mindset.
I already got the mindset because it seems like when you party more right now.
Yeah.
Well, for us, when we partied, we didn't think about the future.
Right.
But y'all are partying and thinking about the future.
Right.
And that's crazy. But then sometimes when y'all party, it's like y'all don't even get to live to see the future.
Exactly. And that's what I've seen a lot growing up. It's just like sometimes you live so fast, you think you have, I have time, but you really don't. Like everything could be gone just like that. And that's always the mindset I have. Like, I want to be here to last. I had a kid young, so I want to be here for him the way my dad wasn't there for me.
That's
so.
another conversation.
That's a good segue.
But if you can pull up, fix it to where you kind of, so we don't get. Yeah, you can pull it towards you closer if you want.
Good.
Yeah. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, like, let's talk about this before we get into that story, bro.
Yeah.
I know you got some questions.
You got me itching. Pause.
Sure. What you got you itching?
Yeah,
what female was you with last night or a few weeks
you need
ago?
some baby powder.
Hey,
I know. You need some talc. Need some gold bombs.
Ain't no OV ho over here, man. No.
Did you do that 317 or something? Did you
616? Remember that.
So let's go ahead and talk about like just your motivation or your inspiration in becoming an artist. Right. When I say artist, because you do video content creation.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever do music?
Yeah, I actually started out doing music. Started out me and a group of friends. We had a friend named Marcus.
Hold on. I don't mean to be laughing.
Okay.
Shout out to K Mars. We do too.
Okay.
But yeah, just for honestly, just for fun, like we used to go to his house. He would record us, and I just did it just to have something to listen to. Like, oh, I made a song. Like, and that's how it started. And then I segue into YouTube, just playing the game on YouTube. And then from there, I used to be a student at MTSU, and I was going there for computer science.
Blue Raiders, me too. Alumni.
But I got a year in and just realized like I could keep doing this, but is this really what I'm gonna want to do 15 years down the line from now? So it was just like I had to make that executive decision to go ahead and chase my dreams now or provide for my family in the future.
You hear he said, he's at a key word. Being 20 years old, he said, I'm gonna make an executive decision.
And provide.
Yeah. Like,
that's
come
the
on
key.
now.
We have too many young people making executive decisions, but they ain't providing.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
That's just, I see it all the time, and I never wanted to be a part of that. Like, I wanted people to be able to look at me and tell I'm different.
Oh man. So let me ask you something. Like, so you were always into music and art, right?
Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite artist?
Honestly, my favorite artist was Juice WRLD.
I love you. Okay, see, we're gonna get along. So that's why my music kind of relates off of Juice WRLD, and I like Lil Peep too.
Yeah, that whole it was like that 2016 wave of everybody, the SoundCloud era, the mumble rap era, they call it. Yeah, that's kind of what burst me onto the scene of maybe I could do this. Like, because it was so relatable. Like, it was just like, maybe I could try it. And then it segued into all these other avenues of me being able to express it.
Wow. Music can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's we're laughing a little bit sometimes because like we're listening to it was like, dang, this is similar pathways here. MTSU, you got a guy named Marcus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The $50, $100 videos.
We know all of that. Like I was telling him, we used to. I was telling him the other day about like how we started. We started with no financial backing.
And same here.
Working in factories.
Yep.
Taking shit from people. Excuse my language, but that's what we did. And I had to create things like out of PVC pipe at the last minute because I have these carpentry skills. I know how to do all types of stuff with my hands. Pause.
But
I already know what you about to do. You better do that.
Yeah, good.
But it's also kind of crazy to hear you say that because I started the same. When I actually first got into it, I quit because, like I said, I had a kid, and it was just like I could keep being a college student, but I know me being a college student, I won't be able to provide the way I need to. So I dropped out of school and got a full-time job at Walmart. I was working Walmart third shift. I used to go in at 10, get off at 7. And then that's how I segued into doing videos. I would get off at 7, help out with the kid, make sure he was good. Once he was good, then I'd work on videos, just YouTube videos, and trying to learn how to edit. Because I probably only been editing for a year now, honestly.
Gotcha.
What are you using?
Now I use DaVinci. I started off on CapCut.
CapCut, there's nothing wrong with CapCut. CapCut got them subtitles and all that, got all that stuff, the AI, and now you can like do all the masking, the beauty stuff, like live while we're talking. Like I can make you look pretty. So not to say,
I get it. It's okay.
Wow. Look, but like DaVinci is a great program, especially when you try to do real films. I'm not saying that TikTok videos aren't forms of film, but when you start doing full length, like that's like the top tier. That's like the Pro Tools.
It's because I tried to dibble with Adobe, but I couldn't it was just the format of it, and I didn't know where to go to do certain things. So
I got you.
Then it was like I enrolled in Nashville Film Institute, and once they showed me the format of just being able how to import media in and being able to cut, I took off since there.
That's good. Good. So
I dig that.
So let me ask you something. Is there anyone in your family that has an artistic perspective or mind that influenced you or inspired you?
I would say necessarily it wasn't the artistic, but my mom, it was just her work ethic. Like no matter what was going on, like it didn't matter how bad it was, she never stopped working. And that's kind of what I took. Like she always told me, whatever your passion is, I'll always support you as long as you work at it. So it was just once I got the backing from my mom, it was just like, okay, like let me really figure out what I want to do, because I know I'm the type of person who can once I'm locked in on something, I can get to where I need to go.
See, and that's the key, is because we got a lot of talent today, right? But not enough drive.
That's true.
That is very true. So when you think about it, just because you got the talent, you got to have the drive and you got to have the motivation to do it. And this is for all the artists out there. You know, promote your stuff. Why are you spending loads of time just recording and saying, yeah, man, that's good, bro. That's good. But then you don't even promote it. It just sits on the shelf. It's like it's feeding your own ego.
Yeah, because and that's the thing with a lot of people. A lot of people think this is like 2005 where you can just upload something and just blow up. Like this is a different time of era now.
It's gotten saturated now. It's a gift and a curse. It's like, oh man, see when Soulja Boy came out, he hit it right. It was like striking gold in San Francisco.
Time.
You know, he hit it and then boom. But now that gate is open, you have to do more now than just upload. Like you got to do your own song and dance, your own advertisement, And I've seen some crafty stuff.
Right, me too.
Do, man.
Like especially on TikTok, you know, the transitions. I'm like, don't get me wrong. Like I probably won't utilize them in actual film,
right?
Because that would be, be a little distracting. A little too much. You know what I'm saying? But doing video content like you're doing, perfect. It's always about how can you improve a shot, or how can you make your shot unique? Like when I saw, shout out to Lyrical Lemonade, right?
Okay, Lyrical Lemonade.
So I'm gonna say this, like all your shots seem to just be sitting on a tripod.
Exactly.
And it just scale up. You're just scaling in. So I need to get the highest quality camera and put that on a tripod, and I'm good to go, because I can do a close-up, I can do everything, right? Because guess what? YouTube only does like really 1080 strong. Like, strong. And to me, I'm like, wow, have we gotten that lazy? Because I see all your bending and all your movements, the driving, the steering wheel, all that, and I'm like, really? We're just sitting it on the tripod and we're cool with that? Is that the auto-tune of the video world?
It's just the auto-tune, maybe.
It is.
Because I think there is a lack of raw talent in a handler of a camera, and now, I mean, like I said, it's a gift and a curse with certain technologies, because you can put in certain plugins where it look like it's him being handheld. Or,
I know I do that sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Cool. You know what I mean? But if you want to get that moment right then and there, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like the authenticity of it. But I do appreciate a lot of the technology now making it more convenient. But I do also appreciate the innovation that especially your generation has, taking advantage of those type of plugins.
Right.
Like cool. The Shake program or the Shake plugin where it shakes the video. But like, just in case you like, dang, I'm just gonna sit it still, but I don't want to take the risk of shaking.
Right.
He'll take the risk of shaking.
Right.
And it makes sense because you can actually go with the movement of the artist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it creates a unique effect.
Yeah.
But like, besides, I know we can get heavy into filmmaking, but let's talk about like, you transitioning into a business owner, because think about it. You were working damn near almost a 12-hour shift, right?
Yes, sir.
And then on top of that, you have a child.
Yes, sir.
And then I know he's going to get in on that. But my question is, what inspired you to become a business owner and say, let's take this to the next level? Because you could shoot videos as a side hustle.
Yes, sir.
And not make a business out of it.
Exactly.
But what inspired you?
What inspired me, honestly, was, shout out Lyrical Lemonade, like you said, Cole Bennett. Just seeing that, like, it was just like, I seen Cole Bennett go from shooting Lucky's videos and like on the block performance, almost how they do now.
Yeah.
And to see where he's at now, he's doing it every day for a living.
Wow.
There's nothing better to me. Like, I have a genuine love for this, so there's nothing better that I could consider other than doing that.
So let me ask you something.
Gotcha.
What do you think that Lyrical Lemonade did different from other videographers? Because we had Director X, we had all these other
Paul Hunter.
In Nashville, we had Charles Robinson.
Right. I think that Cole Bennett, he goes for the unorthodox. He doesn't try to emulate anything. He always tries to, every video is authentic and it's one of one. And that's kind of like what I seen, like how you said it's oversaturated. A lot of people do the same stuff, and that's kind of what set him apart. Even if it only gets 50 views, like he's still gonna do what he what the vision he has in his mind.
See, here's the thing, man. He's the first videographer that got a Nike deal.
Lyric?
Yeah, Lyrical Lemonade. He got a Nike deal.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the first videographer to get a Nike deal, and I believe to make an album.
Really?
Yeah,
like
because
a video album.
Yeah,
well, or music, or all
like,
together.
He's like the DJ Khaled of the video world.
Right.
Okay.
He actually, and that's where I see myself going in a sense. Like,
think about reminds me,
because there's a lyrical
Jordan Towers too.
Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about
you. He's doing a slew of them. Like he was one of them, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's crazy though. Like because who would think that a video company or something would get a Nike deal?
And he got his own like juice.
Yeah, he got his own juice. Like, it's actually in stores now, and
that's crazy.
And he started out just doing simple setup, camera, handheld, same way we're talking about right now, and that's what inspired me, seeing him go from nothing into honestly the biggest videographer in today's current time.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So when we're talking about, your inspiration, you know what I'm saying, and shout out to Lemonade, you know what I'm saying? So the part that really struck me was man, okay, 21 years old, you got a child, you know what I'm saying? But what I constantly keep hearing is like when you're doing your thing, like you get off of work and then, you got a son or a daughter?
Son.
You check on son, you know what I mean? Make sure he's straight. And then you get to your work. Like being that young, you know what I'm saying? Like what was the influence of taking care of your family first? Like, I mean, do you come from a cloth of like a good mom, good dad or something? Like, because most kids out here right at your age, they'll have a son, but then it'll be with the baby mama and then he just do what he do. But you got a different mindset. So what gets you in that mode?
Honestly, like I said, watching my mom grow up, just her work ethic, her and my dad split when I was probably 9, 10.
Okay.
So just seeing that and seeing how the split affected my dad to the sense where he didn't necessarily stick around the same way he was when they were together. I never wanted, regardless, I wanted to always be present and be there for my child. Like, and that was my motivation why I could go work a 12-hour shift, make sure he's straight, come home, play with him, take care of him, and then still do what I need to do.
Right.
Wow, man, that's crazy. See, he actually has someone, he's holding himself accountable.
Yeah.
But then somebody is holding you accountable too, which is a child. And that's crazy because most people just give up on their dreams.
Exactly.
And focus on taking care of the child.
Yeah.
But you, on the other hand, at this age was like, I could still live my dream and yet bring my family up.
Yes, sir. It was just, I had to turn it up a notch. That's kind of how I looked at it. Like,
so how were you before? Were you already turning it up a notch, or now it's like time?
Yeah. Before I had him, I almost had the generation of this mind, like the mindset of this generation. Like, I got time. Like, I don't got it necessarily. But as soon as I had him, it was just like a realization. Like, nah, you don't have time. Like, because he's gonna be 5, and he's gonna be looking at you asking for this, that, and the third. And then what am I gonna say then? Like, that's kind of always the mindset I had. I want him, because the way I grew up apartment to apartment. I didn't get it. I was never in a house until I was maybe 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
So I wanted him to have structure growing up, because I see the difference in growing up with structure and growing up without it.
Man, hold on.
Man. I know, who am I talking to?
Bro, wait a minute.
Whoa. I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah, let's maturity break for a minute. So you had him younger then?
I had him at 19.
Okay. And already with that mentality, just like Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, you must have a
appreciating this.
reincarnated soul. That's what they say.
Yeah.
People with old souls are reincarnations.
There's got to be.
There has to be, because sometimes I think to myself, I'm a reincarnation of something.
Yeah.
And when I say that, deja vu, I'm like, I've done this before. And I'm like, I don't know where.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, am I receiving a message from the other side or that person? Because think about it, bro. Have you ever been at a performance or anything? You're like, I ain't gonna hit it. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
And you just
like
do it.
Yeah, you do it.
Right.
Is it subconsciously, like, in your mind, you're like, yo, you can do it. You're just trying to create setbacks, or a spirit like kind of takes over?
I think it's both. I think we fighting that. We're fighting that, like, okay, your spirit knows you've done this before,
right?
But then you're not quite aware, like, I don't know if I've done this before. I haven't seen it, but your spirit's like, no, you've done this before. It's just the same energy passing through.
Exactly. Almost like you're built for it. Like,
see, right. Because I know you had that situation when you were acting.
Yeah.
And it was crying.
Yeah.
Because he said he was having trouble with that. And then that it happened on that performance day.
That's when I was my ward. Yeah.
Yes. You were like, but the whole time you weren't able to.
I wasn't able to cry. Like, I wasn't able to cry. And something at that moment, like something was in, like, I'm not trying to say I heard something, but all I heard was use it. Use. I'm like, use what? In my mind, like, use what? Like, what? So I started to engulf into what, because I've rehearsed plenty of times.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, let me live this for a minute real quick. And so how would this make me feel, if I'm battling what I am, and battling suicide, what would be the main thing you would do? Like, and that's when that tear came down, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But who knows, man? But it's like, I really do, and I know, we do. I mean, that just admire just the simple fact that, one, and just to keep it real, statistically, they'll say, okay, well, the typical black man, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Had a baby at a young age.
Yeah.
So you fell into the statistic, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't fall into the statistic. You fell into
an outlier in the
statistic.
There you go. You climb. You're like, I might have, but I got a rope here. I still got a lifeline. I'm going to use this as motivation, and that's great. Like, you're a great example for your generation that has kids at an early age that you can still do what you want to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But now you got motivation for it.
Exactly. Now you have more motivation. Like, every day I wake up, look at them. It's just like, that's why I can do 5 videos in 3 days, because it's just like, I want to get to the point where I don't have to do any videos for 2 months. That way I can spend time with him. But I understand, I would rather do that now while he's young versus when he's 5, 6 years old.
Start to figure it out.
Yeah, those are the main years of development for a child. So that's why I'm going so hard right now.
You definitely are good. So let's move on. So let's talk about this generation, on and what they lack in video creation and filmmaking. Because I know you can tell the difference between a video and a film.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your favorite films?
Some of my favorite films. I'm honestly a big Peele fan.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
JP.
So Nope, Get Out, Us. But to take you even back a little bit further, my favorite movie of all time is actually Friday. I used to watch that as a kid.
That's crazy.
And it was shot. It was all in one day though. That Friday.
Shut up. Yeah, sure was.
It was all in one day. I thought that because I thought about it when I was watching. I'm like, hold on, all this happened on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Saturday. Nothing.
Right.
All this happened on Friday. I was like, man, I don't want to live there, but it was very entertaining.
Yeah. So what did you like about Friday, right? I mean, because it kind of falls in line with, it was almost like the way when you look at it now, it's like, man, they shot that like, okay, this is what we got. We're going to shoot with what we have. But it's like the characters really brought it out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What do you see, like, looking at that? What did give you that, that inspiration to be like?
It was really the storyline. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of things lack today. Like, you can have great visuals, but a storyline is like the main points. Like, and that's, even though Friday was a comical, but it had a real story behind it of this is what goes on every day in the average hood in South Central LA. Like,
and you got to think, during that time, it's like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was all character development.
Yeah.
We're still reciting lines from Craig, Bye Felicia, stuff like that. That was, and then Chris Tucker, man, like those characters were memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, just think of any movie you've watched. Let's Menace to Society. Kane. Kane was memorable. Yeah. Even Boys in the Hood, Ricky. Even though it got blasted, he's like,
wait a minute, he ain't supposed to know about this. What is going on?
Keep going. You know what I'm saying? And then just even family movies like Crooklyn, stuff like that I was watching. And in the end, I just learned that it's funny, we're so quick to jump on a trend, right? But we're not quick to create one or create a culture.
Right.
So who is truly original in this time?
Exactly. Honestly, nobody.
Right. Everybody's sampling music. I mean, they sample music from last year.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh man, that didn't work. So I'm just gonna resample it.
Right.
And make it work.
Put a feature on it and see what it does. And it's just like, and it's honestly the same thing going on with film. Like, and that's what I feel like is kind of like the block going on right now. Everybody's waiting on the next big thing, but nobody's coming up with it.
Right. You can wait on the next big thing, but at the end of the day, it's like you got to make a move to become that next big thing.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to make that move because society is so harsh. And they criticize anybody who's different.
Yeah. Exactly.
And just because you're different doesn't mean that you can't be a leader.
Exactly. And even all criticism is good. That's how I look at it at the end of the day. Because not only do you need to know what you're good at, you also do need to know what you need to work on and improve.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. And
no, for real.
And then plus you also sometimes need to know that not all critiques are good either.
Exactly.
You're being you. Like I could tell you to dress up and do all this stuff, right? But then you can lose yourself along the way. And I never want that to happen. I'll be like harking on him by dressing and doing stuff like that. He's like, man, I'm not original. I'm me.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's like acting, like Denzel. Training Day is one of his favorite movies, right?
Man, classic.
Going from The Preacher's Wife to Training Day,
right?
To me, Training Day was really a part of Denzel. He made that a part of him. It was like he was screaming to do that. Because The Preacher's Wife, he had all those other movies. Like he's like, I want to be the bad guy. And he played it so well.
Exactly.
You got to think. It was
relatable because we all have that a
little Lonzo in us.
Exactly. We all have that.
Of course we do. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So, okay, so your inspiration and stuff like that, some of the movies and stuff you look up to. And what we were talking a little bit, behind the scenes, and like kind of bring up the elephant in the room, right? First, you're a black filmmaker.
Yes, sir.
In Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Middle Tennessee.
That's good. Yeah,
we ain't in Memphis now. Memphis, they actually moving.
Different, So you're in Middle Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? And then look, we're gonna talk about elephant. You know what I'm saying? You got the locks. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You a full black man. Don't look like you've been tampered with anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Skin glowing.
George Reyes.
Right.
You are the what I would say other races in this field would consider, like, if they look at you, they'll be like, he's probably just some regular old little shooter. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to do this and that. We've seen all the videos before. And not only just as a black filmmaker, you have a crew, by the way, right?
Yes, sir. All black crew.
Now,
yes,
you
sir.
go by OTC.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what that means.
It stands for off the clock. And that's kind of what I was going back to. Even though I used to work a 12-hour shift, like, my goal was to go off the clock. That's why we named it that. Just so
okay. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good one.
Even though I'm off the clock, I'm still working.
Still working.
Yes, sir.
That's real.
I like that.
That's like,
I like that.
Reminds me of the no sleep grind.
Yes, sir.
Sleep when you die.
Right.
There you go. So, like, speaking on that elephant, have you ever, first I'll ask the question, have you dealt with any type of, and I don't want to say discrimination, but difficulties of being a full black crew, being around other cultures that have done video work and all that, and have their own type of lingo, and when you step into their field, is there a different energy or something you felt like you've had to prove? Like, how you deal with that?
Yeah, it is a different energy. It's almost like especially since we're just now getting into it really like at a professional level.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost, we're looked at as like children, like we don't know what we're doing. In a sense, like we don't know what it takes in a sense. And that's been the biggest difficulty of just, that's why we work so hard and so consistent, just to show people like it doesn't matter. As long as you have it in yourself, you can do whatever you want to do. Like,
that is true.
And I dig that.
You know what I'm saying?
We and I asked that question because I know what we've been through as far as being in the field, and then sometimes you feel like you have to prove yourself to other cultures. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because of this thing that they already have set in their minds. You're like, oh, I got to work extra hard, or I got to know this, you know, make sure we do this, do that, you know, or even like if we'll talk on a field, in the field or whatever, you know, we try not to get too, and I ain't to say, we try not to get too black because they may think there's something wrong. Y'all okay? Y'all all right?
Exactly. Right. Make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. But here's the toe stomper, because he's definitely dealt with this. But the toe stomper is, we were saying, we could be doing some work for another culture, for another genre. And during post or even during pre, you know, even when we're doing stuff, it's almost like we feel like we're being questioned.
Yeah, and
critique.
You gotta be
that type of critique, right?
Yeah, and people gotta come behind you. Like they might not come behind this person, but you specifically, like they're gonna double check, make sure you're doing everything right. And that's kind of the stuff we've dealt with. Even on the paying aspect, like we were charging. It was hard. It was at one point. It was hard to get $100 for a video, but I know I have classmates who are getting paid $1,000 and the work is half as good. And it's just stuff like that.
See, and this makes me question them too. You know, we have to feel uncomfortable to grow.
Right.
If they're uncomfortable questioning us, then they're not growing.
Exactly. They're not comfortable within themselves.
Right. But at the same time, it makes me question them. It's like, are they questioning my technique, or are they questioning that, wow, he's setting the bar? I have to think like that too, because to me, it's like, you can jump in hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And like Dr. Umar said, you know, this is black culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't be another color and claim that you the best in our culture.
That's
on that.
True.
I can't argue with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He has a point. He has a point. That's a solid point.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, white people, you can do hip hop, you can do all that stuff, and I'm not knocking, you know, because if you're good, you're good. But at the same token, it's like, we're willing to step in your field in a whole nother genre. And you still say, hold on, how is he doing these shots? He ain't got no auto servo rig. He ain't got no crane. You know, he's actually using his height. His hand is stable, like his, and he can do everything without a steady cam. He is the steady cam. He is the tripod. And it's like, I can't believe this, Wanda. I can't believe this. Like, this is blowing my mind. Like this is the movie. Not what we're shooting. This is the movie. We need to do a documentary on him.
Right.
Real fast. Real fast.
Got to find it out.
Right. Let's make some money off of him. Like,
how does that make you feel when you go through that?
Honestly, it does make me feel some type of way, just because like it almost shows me what like our grandparents went through, in a sense. Like this is what they went through. Yeah, it's in a different form and fashion because it's 2024 now, but it's almost just like, when are things genuinely going to change?
Yeah, the psyche of that.
You know, they went through the whole black exploitation era, right?
Exactly.
And that's when it comes to film.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're entering that, but at the same token, it's like, we're trying to keep up. It's like everybody's trying to keep up. It's like the bar has been set so high from different cultures now.
Right.
And it's not just about white, it's not just about black, but it seems that black have been stepping it up. It's because they have access to the resources.
Yes, sir.
And now this goes into my next questions, like the struggles of black filmmakers. Like, you work overtime, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
And you have to learn to finance and budget because you have a child.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of our films, right? And the funding comes from us.
Exactly. Out my own pocket.
See, and that's crazy because I'm looking at the statistic. A study by the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative found that only 5.6 of directors in the top 1,300 films from 2007 to 2019 were black. indicating systemic barriers in the industry.
What was that percentage again?
It was 5.6.
Make you want to sit up.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hold on, man. I'm setting the barriers.
Crazy.
Like, where's my credit at? I
Right.
feel like Soldier. I built you too.
Right.
Where's
right.
my credit at? Shoot.
5%.
How much a percent?
He said 5%. I want 5% from all of y'all.
Where's my 5%?
Yeah.
Where's our 5%? We want 5% from all y'all.
Right.
Like, for real. But yeah, do you feel like stuff that you had to pull out money for out of your pocket? You wish you could just go get a loan.
Yeah, and dealing with that, that's why like I try to educate my team on credit, because I understood the same way I understood about what it would take to raise my child the correct way. I understood what it would take to get in this industry just because of like statistics like that. Like you have to be a Jordan Peele, honestly, just to be able to get the funding to make a movie, a feature film I feel like in a sense the correct way.
In a feature film of Get Out.
Yeah.
And that type of context.
Yeah.
It's like, you ain't gonna see too many white people fund that.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That is funny.
It is funny.
They
Like,
wouldn't.
because it was just that whole film made like white people seem scary.
Right.
And like the ones that were critiquing it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it makes me want to think about, y'all.
Yeah.
Is that because sometimes when you look at yourself in the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see it sometimes, but you have to take a second to self-reflect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you realize that, hold on, I am that person.
Mm-hmm.
This person is me. You don't necessarily have to call people out on the track,
Right.
but you know, if it affects you,
Right.
then you know it's probably about you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. You forget that little thump thump in the heart. Like,
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, unless you Kendrick and Drake right now. And
Man.
like,
Yeah.
Kendrick is just ready.
He 5-0.
You know what I'm saying?
He just ready. It's like he ain't letting that man rest at the
Breathe.
studio. Right. We talked about them writers are working on overtime.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, for real. Like now, like it's cool to see, like Gilly said, the dark skinned brothers are coming back.
Right.
You know, they're coming back.
Right.
Do you want to share your story? Well, join us at Clean Cut Conversations. Let's talk mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Your voice matters, so let's make a difference together. Yo, welcome back. Yes, if you want to be a guest on our show, feel free to hit us up via email, and we'll have you on here. We want to hear your story, and we want to see if you can make a difference, for our audience members.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's talk about this credit, man, like how
Yes,
it
sir.
has impacted your life and the importance of having good credit as a Black man.
Yes, sir. Like I said, my mom, she got me started off. She co-signed me she not co-signed me, but had me as an authorized user on her credit card when I was 17. So by the time I was in college, I had like a 790 credit score.
Man.
So
Right.
I was able to buy my first car. I bought a 2016 Infiniti.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then I was able to get pre-approved for a home, $350,000 home at 19.
Come on.
And
man.
that
Talk it.
Talk that ish.
and
Oh.
that's what I want to like bring to light. Like credit is honestly important because I was only making at 19. It was a lot of money for 19, but I was only making $3,000 a month at 19, and I was able to.
Hold on, man. Wait a minute, man. Look, man. You don't just say only 3,000 at 19. Like, you made over 30,000 a year at 19.
Yeah, yes sir, yes
That's
sir.
good. That's good. That's a blessing, man. Like,
Nah.
yeah. see,
At 19. You know how hard it was to come across $5 in college?
and he got health insurance. He was telling
And he
me.
had health insurance, the life insurance. Yeah, all
life
that.
insurance,
Yeah,
all
yes,
that.
sir.
Please keep going. Yeah.
401k, put into that, all of that. But it was just it showed me credit honestly is more important than the actual money you have present. Like
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
because credit you almost can be your own bank in a sense. And that's kind of what I want to bring to life. Like
I'm sorry we're laughing, but
Right.
I'm getting hit in the head, you know.
It's like, this is an intervention for you.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm looking at me right now.
Dang, man.
Keep going.
Keep going, man.
and being your own bank is more beneficial than having to borrow at super high interest rates and stuff like that. versus you're able to pay yourself back when you're ready versus being, because that's how I feel like in our culture, that's the biggest thing. People go out, they get loans, have high interest on them, and then you get stuck getting loan after loan after loan. Like
right.
Versus if you set it up the right way with your credit, you'll be able to get higher funding amounts, so you're getting less loans less often, if that makes sense.
Yeah, see, and that's what that's what we were talking about, Marcellus and all them stuff, about credit and life insurance and stuff like that. And please watch that episode. It'll be out. But anyways, like, yeah, man, credit is key. It unlocks so many doors. Like I told him, and I think I told you, I said, nobody really has, I'm not saying nobody, but majority of us don't have $150,000, right?
Exactly.
But key word, I have access
to it.
Well, that's it. I'll get you your money. Right. But you ain't gonna be seeing me throwing stacks on the table, and that because you can come in and rob me and take everything.
Exactly.
But then you try to take that access from me, I could just shut down the bank and call up and be like,
fraud.
Fraud. And I'm good to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You got insurance behind that.
Exactly.
Exactly. And this is stuff, and this is from my old OGs, you know what I'm saying, that are just catching on like me. Let me be an example, because I'm relearning, because I never used a credit card in my life because I was just so scared of it. Dave's Ramsey's and stuff my dad had listened to, you know what I'm saying? And then once, really just learning from them two guys, you know what I'm saying? And then now hearing you say it, it's just like, okay. No, I mean, not to say that it ain't real, but it's just good to hear a young man like you talking about stuff like this. And this is good for your generation, because a lot of them will go and get them PPPs, what I call them pays. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then don't really know what to do with it, don't know how to flip it. A lot of them are flashing their cash, putting them up to their ears like they're talking. But what about holding the credit card up to your ear? You know what I'm saying? Like, hello? Yeah, man, can I get 200,000?
It's like, right, I'm going to a strip club and swiping.
Yeah, I want the premium. I want
that's
the
a new
premium.
game.
Yeah.
Right, just think about it. Go to a strip club. I mean, if you have a music video, right, and you just swiping, right, you're not throwing cash. I mean, it's the same thing.
Well, they look at you funny, you swipe your cheeks like,
like, how much can that get me? Right. How much can that get me? But it's just funny how we, as a community, we have to have something tangible to make us feel empowered.
Right.
Just because I can't see the $150,000 doesn't mean I'm not empowered. I have access to it. And we have to understand that. Like, okay, we could talk about streams all day.
Right.
My God, 150,000 streams, right? But are you engaged with your audience? That's what matters. To some people, they want to see the 150,000 people. Let me say that. Let me rephrase that. People want to see 150,000 people more than 150,000 streams.
Fact.
That's true, because out of those 150,000 people, are any of them like, you know how you can get like super chats?
Yeah.
So you can have 150,000 people on your line right now, but are any of them giving you $1 or a cent? Like, are you engaging with them? You know what I'm saying? Does the math equal up? You can have 150,000, but then you may only have $1.50. There might have been like 2 streamers.
Right. That's loyal.
When you engage with your audience, you know what I'm saying? And they usually say, if you got 150 followers, marketers look at it as like, okay, well, can I at least, can 10%, they'll say 10%. Okay, you got 150,000 followers, I can get, 1,500, or what is that? What's 10% of 150,000? 15,000? So that's I got 15,000 potential customers for an ad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if they see that you got 150,000 people engaging, they're like, oh, shoot, that might be more than 10%. We're going to make some money. So I do agree.
That's all you need. You just need loyal followers.
That's
loyal,
all.
And that's what I'm saying. People are so caught up in the trends,
right?
But they're not making a culture. Because when they see an artist, Juice WRLD, he brought the culture, all of them together. It was a culture. It was a movement.
Exactly.
Yeah, Peele, Juice WRLD. You had all these other, rappers coming out at the time.
Triple X.
Yeah, you're right. And it's sad that, he had to die, you know what I'm saying? But I think it was due to some conspiracies, but cause he already knew he was gonna die. He told his mama that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It happened. So try not to speak things in existence. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause sometimes when you speak it, it will manifest itself. So we all have to be careful on what we say. say
Right.
to your maker or just say in life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll get what you want, but not when you want to get it.
Exactly.
Because he probably was thinking I'm gonna die at 21, but not instantly.
Right.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be like, yeah, man, let me make these few, let me hit up some road trips and you know what I'm saying? But nah, he probably could have died in the chair or on the toilet. That's my biggest thing. I don't want to die in the toilet.
Man.
Yeah, I'll be messed up. Right in
Elvis
between
Presley-
the squeeze too.
Right in between the squeeze because you know
Yeah.
it's gotta come out. Like
yeah, I'll be messed up. Be having a cliffhanger while you're on the toilet. Just like dang.
But let's go on. Let's talk about it. We talk about funding. We talk
Yeah.
about the importance of credit in our community, right?
Now you saying even to segue back into credit, it's also about utilizing your credit the right way. It's different ways you can do that. It's really about using that 15% margin of your credit, not just getting a credit card, because that's also what I see a lot in my generation. People get credit cards and then they get a $250 credit card, $250 credit card. They're maxing it out. You're really only supposed to spend like $100 to $50 on that credit card, and you're supposed to pay 35% of it to be able to show the credit unions like you know what you're doing versus like
You're responsible
Exactly.
financially. Yeah,
Exactly.
see, we were
Exactly.
talking about that.
Yep. And that's for real. And, I mean, for me, too, and that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, this is stuff that I'm receiving now. Like, and I get it. Oh, I get it. I get it now, bro. I get it. And I didn't know.
Credit is key, and that's
Yeah,
what
it
they
is.
knew that was bringing down the Black community.
Mhm.
Is because we knew we wasn't financially literate when it comes to credit.
Right.
Do you want to share your story? Well, join us at Clean Cut Conversations. Let's talk mental health, relationships, finance, self-care, and entrepreneurship. Your voice matters, so let's make a difference together. We're just going to jump from the credit, and we're going to go into the cultural differences. Because you're from Georgia.
Yes,
You're
sir.
like me from, Georgia. And I definitely see the differences in Tennessee, especially when it comes to Black and white relations in general. I feel that living here, we tend to fall into the profile, into the stereotype,
Yes, sir.
and that stigma of being unwanted, but yet being less.
Yeah.
So, like, tell us like some certain scenarios you endured or encountered.
Some certain scenarios is just stuff like, we had a shoot at our film school, and my friend I was telling you guys about, he was the director for the shoot, and he's colored, so it's just like,
Gotcha.
The stigma going into that shoot was almost like, oh well, because this is the director, we're gonna need extra help and we're gonna need extra hands because
Oh wow.
and until we got to the shoot and he seen and our teacher saw how much knowledge we have in this industry, even though we are new, it was almost like an eye opener for them in a sense.
But you never experienced that in Georgia.
No, sir.
So it was a culture shock for you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Here.
Yeah. And it wasn't for my friend, and that's what it was like, kind of like, well.
Oh, he's used to it?
Yeah, in a sense. Like he just like, this is what come with it. And I'm like, nah, this is not at all how this is supposed to go. Because where I'm from, it's open arms. Like if you have good vibes and you have your head on straight, people will give you an opportunity. But up here it's stereotypical. Like if you fit the stereotype, like I fit the stereotype with dreads and I'm dark skinned. So it's just like people think they already know me before they talk to me up here. Versus where I'm from, it's like, oh, let me get to know him before I make a judgment about him.
See, people, don't judge a book by its cover until you actually read the pages.
Yeah, especially if the cover's black. Or brown, like shade.
Right,
right,
coffee.
It's all good, like I said, but that's crazy because we've endured the same situations to where we felt less. And we knew our worth.
Yeah.
We started questioning ourselves like, are we really good? Like,
Yeah.
What why don't they have confidence? And this is like the our white counterparts. And not all white people are like this.
No, not
but
at
the
all.
ones that we encountered, because I've met some that taught me and helped me excel. So thank
sir.
y'all, by the way. Especially the ones at MTSU. I love y'all.
Shout out
But
Facts.
right.
Shout out our teacher at NFI, Billy Rainey. He used to work at MTV a long time ago, and he's kind of the one that pushed us to the forefront, because he could see kind of what you guys see in me. He saw that in us early, and he was like, nah, like, y'all, you guys are different. You guys are on a different trajectory. Like, this is what you guys need to do to be able to set yourselves up. Like, don't take that and just doubt yourself. Like, almost use it as fuel. And that's kind of what got us here today.
Wow. So let me ask you something, like, for upcoming Black filmmakers here, you know, or anybody coming to Tennessee, what tips would you give them?
I would give them, first, you gotta have tough skin up here. That's the number one. And tough skin as in, you're gonna face adversity, and don't let it deter you, in a sense, because it's easy to get deterred up here. That's the biggest difference I realized from here in Georgia. Georgia, it's like you wake up every day with motivation. Up here is just like, the stuff your dreams will almost become burdens on you up here versus Georgia.
Your dreams become burdens in Tennessee.
Man, that sounds like an album cover.
Right.
Dreams to burdens.
Wow. So
how does that feel? I mean, man, if Tennessee was a person, like, I mean, how does that feel to you, Tennessee, to hear someone say that? Is there something that needs to be changed here? Do you feel like that you have to go over and beyond because of that here, or are you just working on building your own infrastructure? You know,
it's a mixture of both, honestly, because up here it's almost like crab in a bucket mentality. Like, if I see this person going up, I'm gonna pull him down, because a lot of people in Tennessee are self-conscious and self-aware about where they are. And if they see somebody doing something that they want to do, but they aren't capable of, or they don't have the confidence in themselves, they try to bring you down to their level. And in Georgia, it's like everybody wants to work together. Like, if I see you're not where you could be, I'm gonna help you get there, versus here.
Come on, Nashville.
Come on, Nashville.
Middle Tennessee.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah, they
I'm just
should
gonna
do.
stare at y'all.
I want y'all to feel bad about this. Yeah, I hope there's like a still frame at that part where you just staring. Y'all know better, you know.
Wow.
And you got a young Black entrepreneur here, hungry filmmaker.
Right.
Rare situation here in Middle Tennessee. I feel like, you know, all of the Black filmmakers, and this is, once again, I'm not trying to be a separatist here, but I'm talking to a specific culture right now, because we need this. We need this encouragement from each other, because we're not getting it anywhere else.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so until we get that together, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We won't feel so bad. Because I'll be real. I'll speak for myself. Like, there is sometimes there might be a lack of confidence, because, like I said, we were questioning ourselves based on what we were seeing out there. And I know, and they can say, no, we were. I know that they were thinking the same thing in their mind. Like, can they do this? Can they? There's only 2 of them. There's only 3 of them. Or what's their? Oh, he went to a Black school. Well, he went to MTSU. How does that work? You know, I don't. Yeah. Well, there's certain. So he's doing that just with his hands. That's it. Like, he don't have no machinery and nothing like that. And then when the final product comes out, they're like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Whoa.
It's that wow factor.
Like, what?
We need to fund him real fast.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy, because when you think about all the stuff that we've been through, bro, like, I looked at it as a learning lesson.
Yeah.
In a way to break barriers racially, in a sense. It's like, yeah, you got to prove yourself, but it's time for me to invite my culture to you.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody hiding no more.
Yeah.
I'm here. I exist. I'm not being invisible. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to see me for my skills and talent. Don't look at the cover. You know, read my pages. Hell, check my table of contents.
Right.
Bars.
People don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to learn a lot about me. Well, I'm going to give you brief skill sets. It's like a resume.
Yeah, I'm after that. He said, read the table of contents. But before you read the table of contents, read the preface.
Ooh.
Look at the cover.
Yeah, look at the cover.
Yeah, when you open the cover in that little preface, we're going to let you know what you're getting into before you see
Exactly.
the table. Read that too.
Right. Read all that. And you will learn. And in the end, you will learn what you're about to deal and what you're about to encounter. Because think about it. Movies have trailers, right? Yeah. Check out my trailer before you actually judge my movie.
You got anything to add to that?
You set the plate.
full course plate, man. You know.
But yeah, like, so besides that, like, let's conclude this, gentlemen. Like, you know, I loved having you around, man. You are eye opener even for me. Like, it makes me reevaluate my way of thinking.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm moving, but it's good to be encouraged too, because I learned that from Kanye.
Yeah.
And when Kanye was like, he doesn't move along with older people.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he gets along more with younger people, and he makes moves with the younger people.
Yeah.
Not like Drake.
Right.
Not like Drake. No Drizzy.
But, no Drizzy.
No Drizzy. You know what I'm saying? But in a way to where his ideas are just so grandiose, because y'all are thinking like that. Y'all are hungry. And if you think about things in life that were created, right? Sometimes it's just basic stuff. Things were created because we need to create solutions to problems. That's what we were created, I feel, on this earth to do. Recreate, procreate, but at the same time, create solutions for issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Identify strengths, identify weaknesses. That's what we're here on this earth to do, I feel. And in the end, in the grand scheme of things, like, young people are just, they're the vessel.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be relying on him in the future for my care.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, we talk about no social security.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, no, you're the security.
Basically.
Exactly.
You're the security.
And that's kind of what I just want everybody to understand, because a lot of my generation doesn't look at it like that. Like, they just, a lot of people live in the moment, and it's cool to live in the moment, but it's also in, I feel like, in your best interest to not only live in the moment, but to look at the future, in a sense.
So it's not a moment, it's a movement.
Yes, sir.
There you go, man.
It's a movement. You know what I mean?
Don't be a trend. You be the movement.
I like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the differences, because when we think about our ancestors and we think about our Black community leaders in the past, you know, they moved as a movement.
Yeah.
It wasn't no trend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no trend.
Church shoes.
Church shoes. And we fighting in church shoes in Alabama with books on our head. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just incredible. Like, we were so at a disadvantage during that time. You know, they had dogs, they had all that stuff. But the belief, if we can get our people to believe,
like,
that's the key. Is when you saw MLK, you saw Martin, you saw Malcolm X, and Huey. So Huey, that was hope. You know, let's not forget Fred Hampton. Like, that was hope. You know what I'm saying? For our community, there wasn't no integration.
Yeah.
There wasn't none of that. It was just accept me for who I am and see that I can move just like you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We are separate by color, but we are equal in skill.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So if you think about that, man, like I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up, man, because, like, is there anything that you want to say?
I just want to just say, bro, you know what I'm saying? You made me, like, mentally quantum leap in some things that like, it's a shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it's like, I felt like that you're here, you're speaking to people, your generation, but I mean, I'll let you know, you're speaking to me too. And then others that are like me that may not have known about certain, I mean, even down to the credit situation and all that. But then you're inspiring me to be like, somebody's listening, or it gives me hope to be like, it gives me hope to keep going, just to know that there's somebody behind me that has the same agenda.
Yes, sir.
That's really what fuels me. Like, I don't want to do this stuff, and then ain't nobody on the same path when we go.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna carry those type of morals and torches and integrity and determination and Blackness, you know, after we're gone? So you make me feel real comfortable about, you know, I don't want to get too deep, but like, if leaving this earth, I know there's somebody that's like, oh, he gonna do it.
You know, if we're going back to films, like, you're John Connor, man. No, seriously, he's John Connor. Like, that way of thinking, it was like John Connor was progressive. It just, he eventually turned bad. But you're not going to turn bad. We have enough faith in you. Yeah. And it's like you're like Poe and Kung Fu Panda. Right. Everybody, like you said, like Kung Fu Panda, everybody looked at him and was like, oh man, this dude, he can be the Dragon Warrior. And it's like, and then he ended up being the best. Like, and then just being himself.
Just being himself.
And then just going through life. And you having a child was not a curse. It was a blessing. Because your mindset where it's at now, like, wouldn't have been there if you didn't, I feel.
Exactly. And that's kind of where the same thing I feel. I just feel like everything in a sense happened for a reason. Like I was kind of meant to almost be the leader of this generation in a sense. Like just because a lot of people, all it takes is hearing somebody the same age as you say something like you think, but hearing it out loud, like that's all it takes for some people.
That's it.
Well,
like I said, thank you for coming by. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate your presence.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate your presence. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we're signing off. I'm your host, Josh Lovett, with my co-host,
Royce Massengill, baby.
And we are out.
Sir.